Many years ago in Fellowship of the Ring, the Fellowship leaves Lothlorien, and Gimli receives one gift from Lady Galadriel, and that is 3 strands of hair after he requests only one. And it seems that later on down the line, relationships between elves and dwarves seem to repair because of these 3 strands of hair given to Gimli. Why is that? Well, let's find out. In the Fellowship of the Ring, in the actual chapter known as The Mirror of Galadriel, we receive a quick description of Galadriel and her husband, Celeborn. Very tall Galadriel and Celeborn were, and the lady no less tall than the lord. And they were grave and beautiful, they were clad wholly in white, and the hair of the lady was deep gold. But no sign of age was upon them, unless it were in the depths of their eyes, for these were keen as lances in starlight, yet profound, the wells of deep memory. In short, Galadriel grew both beautiful and tall even for women of Noldor, being strong of body, will, and mind, a match for both the lore masters and the athletes of Eldar in the days of their youth. And her name was given upon her, the Sindren name known as Galadriel, maiden crowned with gleaming hair. But unfortunately, her gleaming hair would be noticed by none other than the creator of the Palantiri and the creator of the Silmaril, known as Feanor, her very own uncle. And the reason why Galadriel's hair shone so brightly and was coated in gold and silver and shined with a beautiful light was because they were touched by the light of the twin trees of Valinor, and Feanor, being himself, wanted to use her strands of hair to basically create new Silmarils and new jewels that captured the light of the twin trees. However, Galadriel refused this request, possibly sensing his pride and hubris and recognized his potential for destructive ambitions, basically reading his mind and telling that he was going to use them for very not good purposes, and decided to refuse him 3 separate times. Then, well over millennias upon millennias later, she meets upon the Fellowship of the Ring and meets upon the dwarf known as Gimli. And as a result of meeting the Fellowship of the Ring, she obviously provided them with many gifts, being the lembas bread, the elven cloaks, some elven rope for Sam, the boats of the Anduin, and also provided Aragorn with a sheath, an elf stone, a belt for Boromir, silver belts for Merry and Pippin, a longbow for Legolas, a small wooden box for Sam, and the Phial of Galadriel for Frodo himself. And of course, being the only member of the Fellowship without a gift from Galadriel, she obviously asks him what he would want from Lady Galadriel as a gift before leaving Lothlorien, and he responds with this. "There is nothing, Lady Galadriel," said Gimli, bowing lowly and stammering. "Nothing, unless it is permitted to ask, nay, to name a single strand of your hair, which surpasses the gold of the earth as the stars surpass the gems of the mines. I do not ask for such a gift, but you commanded me to name my desire." And as a way to thank Gimli for his honesty, or to just say F you to Feanor in her own special way, she not only granted him 1 strand of hair from her golden head, but she gave him 3. And see, at the end of the day, that's kind of the difference between Gimli and Feanor himself. Feanor wanted to use strands of hair from Galadriel and demanded 3 separate times for strands of hair from her golden head, and basically wanted to use them to craft new Silmaril and new jewels of the Silmaril by using the twin trees of Valinor's light that had been imbued inside of her hair for his own specific and very vile purposes. Meanwhile, in response to Gimli, he did not desire her hair out of some kind of twisted desire to craft new items or to create weapons of power or to create the Silmaril or take the Valinor light out of her hair. He simply wanted to have a strand of her hair to remember her great beauty, as it was greater than the stars and the gold and the gems in the earth. So in response, she gave him 3. 3 strands of hair for 3 different times that Feanor asked for her hair. It's actually very beautiful in its own right. And with that being said, I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share, or maybe leave a comment and leave your thoughts about how much you hate Feanor and how much you love our golden boy Gimli.